Casey Lloyd, selling principle number 9, use creativity to differentiate and dominate. Creativity, what is it? Many of us know the word, but do we really know how to use it? A few areas this chapter touched on was, where do we get our creativity? Like, where does it come from? Which areas should we be focusing on fixing? And proof that creativity is something that we all can learn. It's science, not just a gift or a gene. We all can learn it and use it. With some practice and the right tools, all of us can be creative in the best ways possible. For instance, did you take creative learning classes in school? Most of you will answer no, or on the off chance someone might say yes, a course or a semester's worth. Is that really enough practice and learning to gain the experience needed to make creativity one of our strong suits? Absolutely not. Like any other trade or skill or tool, we need to learn it first. Don't think you can learn it? Not true. Get a book, watch a YouTube video, get out your pen and paper, start scribbling and taking notes. Whatever works for you, just practice, practice, practice. The Little Red Book of Selling has 13.5 elements that the author found inspired to help his creative thinking that we all could use if we implemented them. If we're looking for information and learning, this would be a great place to start. First off, start with things off your main CPU, your noggin, your brain, of course. The more you learn, the smarter you get. That equates into more use of your brain and creativity and start flowing as well. Figure out where you can pull ideas from and get in the zone and make them come to life. Next up is your attitude. Who doesn't love attitude, right? Always thinking poorly about yourself or just in a down depressive mood and look at everything will never allow creativity to form. Even authors get writer's block, and many will tell you, I'm sure, that the stress from stressing about no ideas doesn't get them any further along than with those creative endings or plot twists they're seeking. Having an open mind, thinking with positivity, and allowing your brain to be open to the outside options will be your best bet on getting to that masterpiece painting, award-winning book, and in our case, that sale of the century. Third on the list is elements of getting into the habit of looking around at your surroundings for everything that's going on. Paying attention. We all have been taught since we've been little, pay attention. Pay attention to your parents. Pay attention at school. Pay attention to the cars in the road. Watch out, etc., etc., etc. This time, pay attention when you're thinking of sales ideas and creativity. Pay attention to details with your idea in mind. Look at all the circumstances that are going on. Think of what you can control and what you can't, then pay attention to how you can be creative to change it. Next, get into the practice of gathering up those ideas. Your brain is always thinking. Even when you want to shut it off, it's there running and processing. Once you learn to teach it to be creative, it will be in overdrive even more than usual. When those creative ideas come up, get them on paper. Record them in a voicemail to yourself or make a text message reminder of all those ideas that come up. Don't ever let it get away. Saving it for later in your mind will not work. Your brain was helping you and you won't want to lose that. Once you get flowing with those ideas, keep writing. Keep talking into that voicemail. Any idea or extension of ideas that come from the one, let it out. Don't stop the creativity from flowing. You can do it is the next step. Tell yourself that you can do it. Don't be afraid of being boastful or cocky. You need to remind yourself and your mind and your heart that you're able to be creative and accomplish what you need to. New ideas can come from anywhere when you believe in yourself. Getting up and setting up a good support system is an important step in gaining creativity. Surround yourself with family and friends and even co-workers that believe in you and your ideas. Not all ideas are going to be good, of course, but the good ones usually stem from a few failed. Hence the emphasis on practice. People who are around you need to be encouraging and helpful. Giving you advice that is helpful, not negative, is key to building a good creative support system. Get yourself into a creative atmosphere. Find out what works for you. If you can't think with others around, go find your quiet spot. If you need music or background noise, turn it on. There's no right or wrong atmosphere. There's only what works and what doesn't for you. The point is to start your attitude going in the right direction. Your atmosphere should get you happy, put you in a good mood, open up your doors in your mind and allow you to think freely with no constraints. Find your Yoda. For those of you without Star Wars knowledge, Yoda is a master at his field and creativity with his powers and thoughts. He then helps his apprentice Luke learn all of his ways, and that's exactly what you need to do. Find your Yoda. Find a mentor or someone who you can look up to creativity-wise, someone whose attitude is upbeat and willing to be a bouncing board for your ideas and knows directions for you to take once you get there. Study creativity on a regular basis. Treat studying for creativity like you would learning any topic. You can't just jump into a topic and then read the top level of learning on it. Just like children have to start with ABCs, not reading. They have to grow into it and practice. There's that pesky word again, practice, practice. Start small and work up. The author of the book, The Little Red Book of Selling, suggests a few books by Edward de Bono called Six Thinking Hats, Lateral Thinking, or a compilation of his books called Serious Creativity. But you need to work up to them, of course. You can even start as small as he suggests as something like learning from Dr. Seuss. That is creative as well. The 10th step is to learn the background on creativity in the area you're wanting to excel. Here, it's selling. Look at how the founders of businesses pushed their way into their industries. There is bound to be creative juices flowing in some history books. Looking for the top salespeople and even reading about their upbringings and what worked for them will help as well. Don't let the knowledge of the pioneers of the industry get lost in the dust of the library. Learning there is no one method that works. You won't be able to just pick up one book and make it work for every situation that you have. Read many books. Interview many mentors. Ask all the questions you need of anyone you need to. All of this knowledge not only helps, definitely does not hurt. Use one to supplement the other. Where one may fall short of an idea, the other may finish it for you. Don't be afraid of taking that risk. Unfortunately, we have to learn that you cannot be creative without taking many risks. It's part of the way of learning creativity and practicing it. How many times have you taken a risk and it's paid off tremendously? I know it's happened to me plenty of times before. The learning process that comes from a failed creative idea is a risk and learning curve we all need to face. Not every idea will be a hit. That's true for every single person. No one's perfect all the time, but keep trying. The 13th element is that of getting to see your creativity in action. Get that idea rolling. It doesn't matter how little that idea is, give it a chance to shine, and most importantly, prove to you and others how much you've learned to let a creative ball roll. Even if that ball just rolls for a little while or a whole mile. Creativity and learning should be something you take pride in, very much so. Lastly, in the list of helpful elements, the factor of those bad apples, the naysayers, the jealous people who see your idea and have nothing good to say. You know what? Ignore them, always. Those people are not helpful. Those comments do not assist you in getting to your idea or your success level. They are just people not wanting to see you do well. Carry on with believing in yourself and continue with the creative process regardless of what they're telling you. When speaking in sales talk, make a difference in a few key areas. One being the beginning to your sales call. Open with an intelligent question. Even if you already know the answer, they don't know that. It makes you look like you're ready to get rolling on the right foot and you sincerely are concerned with gaining them as a customer. Next, change how you are perceived. Get those business cards, change them and glam them up. Give a voicemail lift to your voicemail recording. Change the font of your email greeting. Anything that makes you look like you have creativity running through your blood, do it. Third, use the technology that you have and let them always know you didn't forget about them after you spoke with them, and that you're pushing to follow up to that lead to your advantage. Don't stop at a standard voicemail message that leads to a dead end. Send out something through the internet or mail that shows them your flair, creativity, and that they won't want to forget who they spoke to. We touched on the subject of making your voicemail creative, but really make it stand out. The first time anyone calls you, that's the first thing they're going to hear if you're busy. If it sounds mundane or typical, they maybe turn off and not even leave a simple message. Change it. Be funny but not offensive, of course. Leave a popular quote or one that you even make up and use all the time. Use tips or hints about your product to reel the customer in and make them want to call back. Don't forget that every missed call or missed message left is a loss of a lead. Each call is a possible sale. Make that ordinary voicemail something that the potential customer remembers. Makes you stand out from all the rest of the phone calls they've made that day and makes them want to leave a message to talk to you again. All in all, this principle number 9 was pretty entertaining to learn about, and it was written in a very creative way. Opening up your mind, staying positive, and believing in yourself to learn and study creativity, practice it with confidence and do it all again, is the correct path to your next sale and those thereafter. Good luck.